Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. How much does it cost to actually create an apology for your actions? Well, in the case of Ezra Miller, it's somewhere in the region of $200 million, because that's the budget of the Flash movie. The Flash movie, which is still going ahead. The Flash movie that has David Zaslav's full support and backing. There's only one problem. It's called Ezra Miller. But this is the most manufactured of manufactured apologies that you could possibly imagine. Not only that, it's actually one of the laziest, and it's one of the... It's an apology which assumes that the regular person is just dumb and stupid, and we can all just move on from this criminal's activities. But let's just get into this. The Flash star Ezra Miller seeking treatment for complex mental health issues. Exclusive. You see, when somebody wants to make an authentic apology to the masses, when somebody wants to turn the mirror on themselves and realize their problems and their issues, and then decide that they want to seek to fix them, to repair them, what they do is they sign an exclusive deal with a media outlet for said apology. Yeah, I don't know. To me, doesn't come across as particularly genuine. I mean, when a YouTuber fucks up, you know, they go get their pet, and then they fix a cam about 10 foot away from them, and then they have a chair in the middle of their front room. No, this isn't gonna turn into a snuff movie or a hostage situation. And then they turn it on, and then they go out of shot, and then they walk in, and they sit down on their chair, and they go, I don't know where to start with this. And then they look at their pet, and they bring their pet, and they're just like, what do you think, Mr. Snuggles? What do you think of the fact that I just scammed a bunch of people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars? If I just say I'm sorry, everything will be okay. It's the same mentality with this. This is obviously something which has been constructed by Warner, maybe with Zaslav helming this project, because let me just tell you now, this is as much of a script as he's going to be reading in The Flash. Let's get into it, shall we? The Flash star Ezra Miller says they are seeking treatment for complex mental health issues. Let me just think. What's he been up to over the course of the last year or two? Choked a bitch out in Iceland in his bare feet as well. Okay. Off his tits on some substance, drugs, don't know. Alcohol, don't know. I mean, I would lean probably into a bit of both, but that's just speculative on my behalf. He then goes and he then goes on a mad criminal crime spree of Hawaii, where he's throwing chairs at women, he's drunk and disorderly, he's breaking into the house of friends, allegedly. Then there was reports of him causing ruckus in Germany. I don't know how true that one is. Take that one with a pinch of salt. Then we get he's you know, cleaning dogs. You know what I'm saying? He's a dog cleanliness connoisseur with certain people. We then get a cult being set up in an Airbnb. dude, if you're going to set up a cult, right, give your bro Jared Leto a call. Because that guy's got it down. He's just like, hey, I've just got a cult of peace and love, and everyone's welcome. Basically, any woman that wants to bang me, just come into my cult. And they're just like, yeah, I wouldn't mind banging Jared Leto. Hey, nobody take that out of context. Come on, guys. And then they go off to join Jared Leto's cult, and by joining Jared Leto's cult, basically mean go over to an island and f him. So he sets up this cult in an Airbnb. Then he gets arrested again in Vermont for breaking and entering and stealing bottles of alcohol from a house, thankfully, that wasn't occupied at the time. Caught on camera doing it. And then charged with felony burglary. The guy is out of control. Complete and utterly out of control. And there is a $200 million movie that is set to release next year with this guy helming it. So how would you solve a problem like Ezra Miller? How do you solve a problem like Ezra Miller? Well, you got to look at what you can do. You can fire him completely, and I don't think, let's just be honest, I don't think Ezra Miller's making any more DC movies after this one, you know what I'm saying? But you can fire him outright, and you can try and reshoot Ezra Miller's parts for The Flash. That's going to be very costly. You know, you might as well just add another 50 to probably 100 million onto the budget of that movie. Suddenly it's a $300 million movie, and it's looking at doing 600 to 700 million to break even. Ouch. There's also Michael Keaton's star name and reputation here as well. Now, I don't know how much Michael Keaton gives a shit about that, but for us, it kind of looks that way. Michael Keaton, even if they can the movie, would probably be like, I took my payday, I'm okay. Who knows? I don't think Michael Keaton is, and I say this in the nicest of ways, particularly bothered about the genre. He's, it's about the craft for him. The craft fucking catering. Boom. It's not. He's in really good shape. That would be me. He'd be Batman. I'd be Fat Man. Anyway, in a statement provided to Variety, exclusively to Variety, because we do exclusive mainstream media apologies here, if we're genuine, by a representative of the actor. I don't even know if Ezra Miller knows about this. I'm not even taking the piss here. I legitimately don't even know if Ezra Miller knows that this apology's gone out. This could all be so manufactured. I mean, it's manufactured certainly to a degree, but this could be so manufactured that they're just like, we're going to put this out. We're going to pretend that this motherfucker is in, some sort of clinic. And then we're probably going to kidnap him and tie him down for a year, and then hopefully that might sort him out, and then we can put him in front of a camera in a year's time. And in a year's time, when the movie comes out, Ezra Miller, instead of answering questions like, why did he choke a bitch out in Iceland? Why did he break into a house and steal bottles of alcohol? Why did he start a cult in an Airbnb? Why did he throw a chair at her? They'll be asking questions like, what was it like to deal with your struggle? And Ezra can say, oh, I had an awful struggle with alcohol and substance abuse, and I was out of control, and I'm so glad that I got out. And everyone could be like, oh my God. It's so strange that such a tension is being placed on Ezra Miller by the studio for recovery. We have seen people fired for much, much less than this. Now, this is just speculative. Again, this is just an opinion. But maybe, as we'll go into this, let's just delve deeper and I'll attach it to something else. Because I think this article's spending more time trying to get his pronouns right than actually information. Miller broke their silence about their troubling behavior that they have exhibited in recent years, which has led to a series of legal issues and assault and abuse allegations. Miller also apologized. I apologize for their actions. Having recently gone through a time of intense crisis, that's nice and vague, isn't it? I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues. Really? Again, exceedingly vague. And have begun ongoing treatment, Miller said. I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. My past behavior. Nice way to distance yourself already. Well, or the person who wrote this, of course, which wasn't Ezra Miller. I am committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage in my life. I am committed to getting back to a health and safe position where I can go in front of a camera in a year's time for Warner Brothers. After that, then Ezra Miller be damned. And is such an intense care, shall we say. It's the only word I can really think to describe this. Being placed around Ezra Miller because Ezra Miller probably has a lot of secrets. A lot of secrets of a lot of Hollywood personnel. A lot of Hollywood personnel that have probably spent some, let's just say, intimate time with Mr. Miller. Oh my God, you just hate crimed him. Let's see if the UK police arrest me. The embattled actor who is non-binary. What the fuck has that got to do with anything? He is not my non-binary. He is a male. And uses they, them pronouns. Good for him. Good for him. He's a guy. Played the DC... can we just dispense with this nonsense? British police... I'm ready for the knock. I'm probably ready for some jail time. Played DC Comics character in 2017. Who cares? Most recently, Miller was charged with felony burglary in Vermont after state police investigated an incident where he stole several bottles of alcohol. He also choked a bitch out in 2020. He pled no contest to 2 cases of disorderly conduct and harassment in Hawaii. And he paid a staggering $500 fine. Woo! And $30 in court costs. Is there any wonder why he continued to do what he did when there's absolutely no consequence to his actions? And this is as much as a failure, I think, of the police system as well. Because this guy was clearly a fucking asshole. And was clearly being a harassing presence. You're just in a harassing presence. And he should have been yeeked out of there. The Flash is set to open June 23, 2023. So, how would you solve a problem like Ezra Miller? You construct, with the aid of mainstream media, a manufactured apology in an attempt to salvage a $200 million investment and get Ezra into some sort of shape so that the questions when he eventually does go onto the red carpet are more of how he beat his demons as opposed to beat a woman. See you in the next video. Bye for now.